Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the hourly time frame, and we left off on Sunday, somewhere around here. Bitcoin had just broken above the top of this lavender or whatever color channel here, riding on top of it, holding it as support. Also holding support one of our pink parallel channel lines that go way back in time and are part of the parallel channel group here. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Wrong line. But we were holding support on this inner light red channel here. Nice little cross there that we did bounce off of. Whenever we get these crosses, they seem to be very supportive or resistant of whatever that adjective is. So, what we were looking for, what I was looking for here, was a good positive close for the week like we had. And it looked like we were going to get that pullback to then come down after the weekly close here, come down and fill the gap at around 57.7 or something like that, the CME futures gap. And then I think you know what happened. Boom, we had a big explosion to the upside. Caught me off guard. Well, it caught a lot of people off guard. But I did say in the video, if I was questioning whether this would be a breakout or a reversal back to fill the gap. And I did state that if we broke through the top of the red channel and the top of the blue channel, that probably looking like a breakout here. And in fact, that is what did happen. Now, since I'm going to pull out a little bit here. It's important to identify. Let's switch to a 4-hour. First of all, identify what we're looking at here. We have these blue channels here. These blue channels heading upwards. And if you've watched my videos, you know what I'm talking about. It's our blue channel group we've been trading in since June of, I don't know. Well, let's see what it was. Since September of 2022. Been riding right along the top of the blue channel here. This is when we started coming in contact with these channels. Well, arguably, if I stacked more channels on top of it, probably even further back, but because you can see how price action is kind of trending parallel to these channels. But anyway, that's when I started tracking, because you can clearly see how we traveled within this channel here, held the center line as support, fell through it, and then continued to the bottom of the channel, and so on and so forth. Right here to the center line of the channel, you can clearly see how these channels have acted. Now, there is these... Why is that one a little bit off? Anyway, there's lighter blue ones. That's a little bit off because I think that's the center line of a different... Excuse me, I got it. And while I sneezed, I made this center line here a little bit darker because it's in fact not representing... There's a couple different channels here. There's a larger light blue channel and then a darker, smaller blue channel. Anyway, this center line here is the center line of this as a base. and this is a top. So this is the original light blue channel from here to here, and the dark blue channel is from here to there. And then these other channels here are representative of the darker blue channel. Smaller versions stacked. So the dark blue channel, this would be the center line, or the top and bottom of two separate channels that were placed here. There is no, I did not place a mini channel here, only right here in the lower portion of the dark blue channel. So this smaller channel has been cloned and placed below and below, thus. And in doing so is captured. See, this is the original base of the channels here. But continuing throughout time, you can see we did come down and interact with these lower channels here perfectly down to the center line of this one. Now, I do believe that, well, we didn't even come down to the center line of that channel here. But anyway, these are the blue channels that I'm talking about currently. And, well, I might want to point out here, what I called for like 2 videos ago was consolidation in this orange zone right here before breaking out to the upside and or whatever we were going to do, consolidation here, then more likely a breakout upwards, and that's exactly what we had. Perfect price action within there. Now, then we did have this breakout, but I did expect to come down and fill the gap. That's the big question here. Do we do that? That gap on CME futures, it's a pretty significant gap right there. If we take our measurement tool, now I did a video on the gaps. It's in the Crypto's Fundamentals Essentials. Crypto Essentials portion of my on my homepage, my YouTube homepage. Now, this gap right here is over a $2,000 gap. If you measure just the gap itself, and if you measure like a lot of people do, and I disagree with this, if you measure from, let's see, the close to the open, it's a almost $3,200 gap. Now, even when if you watch my Crypto Essentials video, we do not have any gaps that have been left that have been anywhere close to that number. I think maybe the biggest ones were like a $1,200 gap, and there have only been very few. So, are we going to leave a $3,200 gap or a $2,000 gap, depending on how you're measuring it? I don't know. Seems pretty unlikely to me, but I've always been, putting forth that scenario where that's going to be the trap that get a lot of people, because they're going to expect to have this gap filled, and it will never happen. Now, do we even come down and attempt from here? Come down and attempt. At least make it look like we're going to fill the gap, or at least come down, I'm thinking, to this upper region here on CME futures, something like around 59.5 or 60,000. Just under 60,000 to at least catch these tips. Do we do that? I think that that's very likely. Now, even here on CME futures, note that we are below the 21-week moving average currently. We did poke above it briefly, but we are down below it currently. And do we get another rejection off of that and then come down later in the week and then continue our bounce? That's what I'm holding out for here, rather than jumping into, or rather than increasing my position. Now, we all are in different, we all have different different things, my words. um we are all in different places. I already have a pretty good, my positions are pretty much set here. The only thing I'm doing is increasing or decreasing my leverage. So currently, I missed this move. This move here. We're on the 4 hour. I want to switch back to the 1 hour. I missed this move here. I thought we'd come down and fill it. I still think we're going to come down and fill it. Although, arguably, this is looking very bullish right here. And I want to show you what we've done. We did kind of find a little resistance at the red line there, although not very clearly bouncing off, coming right up to the line and getting, anyway. And we went through the blue line here. Now, this is a different blue line than what I've been talking about. This is the blue channel. This is the good downward channel. And we just pumped right through that. Didn't even, regardless. So we went through those channels. And you can see here, this is the bottom of the daily Gaussian channel. We broke through that, come back down, tested it for support, found support there, and moved onwards and upwards. That's good. That's bullish. We came up to the 21-week moving average, which is this line right here, and got rejected off of it. Poked through a little bit, but held it pretty much right here. And if you were watching on, was it the close? On Monday. I think it was. No, it was the close here. I don't remember now. I think it was the 9 o'clock close here. Somewhere we were right around 8:12, 8:13. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, okay, this is it. Yeah, that's the 3 o'clock. That would be the 4 hour close. The first 4 hour close. We closed just under 8:12, 8:13, where the line was. Yeah, right there it was. We started a new 4 hour candle below the 21-week moving average. Although it is upward trending, and you'll see in a minute that it's not really at 8:12. That's where it closed at on 8:13. That's where it closed at on at the end of this on Sunday, but it's currently continuing upwards. So see, there it is, 8:13. When I take my cursor away, 64, 8:13, and that's where we close the 4 hour candle. So we have not closed a 4 hour candle above it. Did close a 1 hour candle above it. And now if I want to show you something, well, first let's see where it's at. You can see currently that it is right here. That's where it closed Sunday at 64, 813. But if you go on your settings here for the indicator, is it going to come up? There they go. You go to your settings here. This box where it says wait for time frame closes. If you uncheck that, then what happens is that you get these stair steps. So while it did close Sunday at 64,813 right there, next Sunday it should close at 65,397. You can see this number's changing because price is changing here. 65,397, 32, 36, 26, 30. This number's changing. We don't know where it's going to end up exactly, but somewhere up here higher than what it is. So there you have that. And also of note, 65,397, where this is going to close next week, is somewhere going to cross this the mean band of the daily Gaussian channel. So while what has happened here is very bullish in my opinion. This is the center line here of one of our blue channels I was talking about earlier, the ones that go back to September 2022. We came down, tested that center line here, and bounced. Came back down right now, liquidating some longs. That was the whole purpose of this. Well, I mean, we did get a rejection off of the... Okay, stop moving. There we go. We did get a rejection here off the 21-week moving average. Came back down, liquidated some longs, and held these crosses here, and came down to the wicked down to the center line here, but it got all bought up above this cross of these two lines here, and heading back upwards now. Now I do think maybe we will get some sort of a consolidation here, and I think this time we will come back to the, maybe even poke through the mean band of the daily Gaussian channel. Now I'm looking for us to get a rejection there and come back down once again into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, over the weekend, maybe coming back down and trying to fill that gap. I do have a circle, red circle that I've drawn down here, which would satisfy that. Well, this would get us down to about 58.5. Now, what you can see here, right here, is a blue line shooting right through that red circle. That blue line is the bottom of the blue parallel channel, of which this center line, or this is the center line that we are bouncing off of. And the top, whoa, what was that? Top of that blue parallel channel is right up here at the top of the daily Gaussian channel. These dashed lines, green one, the white one, and the green one, represent the daily Gaussian channel. The top of the blue parallel channel is at the top of the daily Gaussian channel, or will be somewhere around Friday. Center line of the Gaussian channel is around the 21-week moving average. We've bounced off the bottom of the blue parallel channel and are coming up to the center line of the daily Gaussian channel. Ironically as well, center line of the blue parallel channel is also at the bottom of the daily Gaussian channel, and that is where we did bounce here. So we did come up here, held the bottom of the daily Gaussian channel as support. I forgot about that. And so we are holding that as support. Now note that that is red heading downwards, and we were traveling out below it for quite some time here. So it's very reasonable to think that we do get a rejection here, even come back down below it briefly before heading up and getting that push right through. So that's a very plausible scenario. Now, like I said, I do hold. I'm pretty happy with the positions I hold, and the only thing I'm doing is not. I'm resisting FOMOing in here. Although, if I did not have any position, I might say, hey, I had better get in. It's better for me to get in here than to wait for something that might not come. But since I already have a position, does it matter if I increase that position up here or down here in the whole grander scheme of things? Yeah, maybe, but I I want to hold out to see if I can increase it back down here. And it's better for my overall psychology, trading psychology, resisting that urge to FOMO in here and wait for a better position. And I don't know if it will play out, but hopefully it will. So I'm looking for a rejection here at the center line of or the mean band of the daily Gaussian channel. Probably come back down here. That's Thursday. I don't know. Don't know what kind of time frame. Maybe bounce around up here a little bit. Maybe even come all the way up to the top of the Gaussian channel. That might not be till Friday. See, I don't know how this is going to play out. Maybe we do continue here, come all the way up here on Friday, and then get some sort of a dump over the weekend back down here. I don't know. And then you got to consider too, what are the fundamental factors that are going to play into this, like the Genesis selling off, maybe that sparked some fears in the market that this is just a fake out to the upside. And then I've also noticed that the guys doing the wave theory kind of stuff do have in their charts, when we have a breakout, then we do have a pullback and before the final breakout. So that's something to think about too. Anyway, I think that's enough for today. And like, subscribe, and see you next time.